This episode of the podcast is brought to you by WayForward, the publisher of River City Girls 2 and the Double Dragon DLC. The bros are back as Billy and Jimmy Lee hit the mean streets as playable characters in River City Girls 2, coming November 12th, 2024. Look for the DLC across platforms everywhere River City Girls 2 is available.
Channel 3 is the future.
Welcome, crew, to What Are Your Three, a Channel 3 podcast where we take a member of the Channel 3 community, again, go through 3 games of their choosing, honorable mentions, some other odds and ends for a nice little video game discussion. I'm Dan. With me, as always, Ray.
What's going on, everybody? Tonight, we bring back a guest. It's been so long since we've had him on. He has a new gamer tag on Channel 3, too. It's wild. Back in the day, he was Thunderpump 1 on Channel 3, and now he's just Thunder, and he's here. Thunder, what's going on?
How's it going, man? Good to be back.
Almost 2 years later?
Almost to the day, yeah.
Last time it was right before you were married or right after?
Right before.
Right before.
Yeah. The release was like timed with his wedding.
Yeah, it was like the week before was when it was released.
Now you're married and old and all that stuff.
I was already old back then, so
the aging accelerates exponentially at that point.
I don't know how much more I can age with all these. I think it's the kids more than anything that age me.
You do have a lot of those. between the two of you over there.
Yes.
There's a lot of them. So it's pretty crazy because it's 2 years later, and this new list of games you have just kind of shows that it's been a wild couple year of video games.
It really has been. I didn't want to go count. I thought about counting to see how many games I've bought in the past 2 years, but I didn't really want to.
There's no need to accumulate that kind of evidence again.
My wife's glaring at me right now.
We don't need that kind of negativity. But yeah, I've played so many different types of games these last 2 years. It's a good time.
Yeah, I went from basically only playing Fortnite to just broadening my horizons, really.
Yeah, your 6 games between your 3 and your honorable mentions are a wide gamut of games. But let's not delay it any further. Then let's talk about the first one. So we talked about Miles Morales during your first episode, and we're back in the Spider-Man world with Spider-Man 2. So you got what you're looking for here, and you get both you got both Spider-Mans, and here we are.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you can't say enough about this game. It was hands down one of the greatest games I've played ever. Just the graphics alone. I mean, PS5 alone has come a long way.
Yeah, they finally unleashed it. They finally stopped.
Yeah,
they stopped holding back.
It's insane. I didn't run into many bugs like I've seen online. My game was pretty smooth. I think maybe once throughout the whole. I played it a couple of times through. Maybe once or twice that I've like glitched through a building or something like that. But everything was great. It's funny too because I didn't finish the first Spider-Man all the way through because Miles Morales came out and I wanted to tackle that, and then it kind of just got put on the back burner. But when Spider-Man 2 got announced, I was like, I have to. Like, I had to actually get permission from the wife to buy the PS5 just for that game.
Do you need to blink twice? Like, just to be clear, we were told beforehand she's in the room there with him. We're not totally sure as to his safety situation. We're going to tell you to blink twice if you're in danger at this point.
No, we're
continues to look
fine.
Sideways ominously. I assume she does not have headphones in, but okay, I think we're all good. But anyway, it's okay. So you actually got
no secrets over here. So
you got the 5 for these purposes. Yes, finally they have announced the PC release. They're running about a year at this point. They're consistent. Ray heard PC release. He's chiming in now.
I was saying, no, the PC is just the previous generation PlayStation essentially at this point.
And I'm excited though. I'm not gonna get it on PC, but I'm excited to see what the modders do. Like that always intrigues me to see like
yeah.
what they're able to do on stuff like that.
Yeah, the 24 hours it took them to just totally dismantle Silent Hill 2 was astounding to me. I mentioned it on a recent episode. They took the fog out just to see what it looks like, because unlike the original Silent Hill and Silent Hill 2, like the fog was there because they had to put it in because didn't have that much draw distance. But now they have the entire world there, so it all exists beyond the fog. So it's just weird to see. And like, well, let's make it a sunny day with no fog in Silent Hill. It's so weird to see.
And speaking of that, I feel like they made the fog a lot more dense in the remake.
Oh yeah, I believe you are correct. Yes.
Dragon Ball already added if you have it on PC, they added Link as a skin over on Trunks.
That's hilarious.
With dialogue and everything. It seems like the developers are totally fine, not going to do anything about it, which is nice. Just don't play it online, but have fun.
Yeah.
Make your clips.
It's cool to see though. I remember seeing in Miles Morales, I remember seeing people swinging around as Gwen. It was pretty cool to see that.
No, I know when Ragnarok came out, I don't think there was much. I know when Last of Us came out on PC, they had probably like a week worth of hiccups, but I think they've also kind of ironed out whatever difficulties they had in trying to transfer the game over. So PC folks, I wish you well.
My favorite are the Thomas the Train ones. Those are always hilarious.
Always Thomas the Train.
But yeah, going back to the game, I played through it twice. When New Game Plus got released, I played a little bit more. I don't remember if I platinumed that one. I
think you did too.
I think I did.
Several of us did, like right off. It was a very, very platinumable game.
But yeah, the New Game Plus was great. The small DLC that they had with the skins was pretty cool. I am disappointed that they decided to scrap the future planned DLCs, but it makes sense with Insomniac's huge leak and stuff. They said forget it. They're going to focus on that Venom game and the Wolverine game. So I'm not opposed to that. I'm sure the Venom game should either pick up where that one left off, or it'll just be a good game on its own.
Yeah, I mean, at least they're definitive. They're not leaving it in the air. I mean, Insomniac is just a Marvel production studio at this point, so there's certainly comments about that, about some of their what else could they be doing. But the Venom game, I don't know. I'm curious. I liked spoiler warning, I guess, for the PC folks who haven't played it yet. Sorry, Ray, but
okay.
They took very different directions with Venom. There's no Eddie Brock in this one. They made it much closer to home. Which
was a great decision, in my opinion.
Narratively, a great decision. I think that the universe they've created in the games is excellent. Good. They're not confined. They're not handcuffed to any particular comic book lineage or lore. Have at it, guys. Make your own thing. But there's like not one level. I don't know if you want to call it a level, but like there's a section where you play as like the Venom character. And I'm just curious to figure out like what's the whole game of that look like, because
we kind of mentioned it when we were going over the Arkham stuff. They've perfected that style of gameplay like so well. Like I don't feel like I need extra fingers to be pressing buttons.
No, you know what? It took a few minutes because they changed the button configurations, right? They, instead of like holding one of the trigger buttons to select your weapon, like it was a different weapon selection for tech. You had more gadgets, you had more gizmos, you had Venom and anti-Venom powers, you had Miles getting his various powers through the course of the thing. They really give you a lot to work with in the arsenal, and you needed every piece of it too.
For sure. And just you mentioned it a little bit, but being able to switch back and forth between the two is really cool, because they do have, even though it's pretty consistent throughout the game, they do have different I guess play styles, fighting styles. Like it's similar, but they did really well on differentiating the two, even with, like you said, with the Venom gameplay as well.
As much as I'm one to belittle and trash excessive side missions and quests and excessive stuff in gameplay. I did not feel like that. I don't know how you felt with this one. I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but like again, I 100% of this game, no problem. I don't need 75 lightsaber hilts, but like even the side missions in this were fulfilling and frankly heart wrenching in some points as well.
Oh yes, that one. There's that one. If you know, you know. That one definitely pulled some heartstrings.
Yeah, you went from saying I can't believe they're making me do this again to oh my god, I can't believe they're doing this instead.
Yeah.
They're doing this. Give me the first game missions instead. Never mind. I apologize. I'm wrong.
Definitely. But yeah, overall, like I said, one of the best games I've ever played. And that again coming from just being a Fortnite guy to this. I mean, there's obviously plenty of games in between that. The last time we were here and now, but this is definitely at the top in those 2 years.
So in a 2023 that was littered with games of the year that were probably robbed because other games of the year, like any one of those games could have been the game of the year, and everyone would have been like, yeah, okay, that's fair. I respect it. You whether Tears, Baldur's Gate, this again, one of the myriad other games that came out that could have easily taken the throne for all intents and purposes.
Still a little salty about them not getting Game of the Year, but we won't go down that rabbit hole.
Spider-Man games don't win for some reason.
I don't know why I don't like them.
That's 2 in a row. I mean, the Miles one is smaller, so you don't think of it as much.
Yeah,
but you get 2 games in a row, and they just say no, it is for whatever reason, and I don't know what it is. Having only played one. I mean, like Dan said, I could swing around and fight petty criminals
for all day
for an hour and a half and not be upset about it.
Yeah. I'll never be unhappy yoinking a criminal out of a speeding vehicle and webbing them to a street lamp. What or do they just not do exclusives? Because I'm trying to think back because it takes 2, Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate 3. What else has been the recent?
What do you want? That's
gotta be what it is. Yeah, that's gotta be what it is.
Like I feel like they're afraid to like it's very political. Sorry, Keely, but like I know this is all political, and you're trying not to like. He's trying to not upset any one of the companies at the same time, and you see how like Nintendo always gets the family award. Like they're always like spreading stuff around. There's a weird cabal that makes these decisions. I don't know. It's a whole thing. But do exclusives end up on there? Ray is playing producer and.
I knew there was one. The Breath of the Wild won it in 2017.
What else was what was even nominated in 2017?
Zero Dawn, Persona 5, PUBG, and Mario Odyssey. So Nintendo they nominated both of Nintendo's games and they gave it to one of them.
Yeah.
Oh boy, InfoCine's gonna lodge a hard complaint when
Breath of the Wild be Persona 5. And they only started 2014, but that might be the only Dragon Age Inquisition. That's not exclusive, right? Is anything?
No, that one game of the year.
Dragon Age is the first game of the year of the Game Awards.
Oh god.
To be fair, it's Bayonetta 2, Dark Souls 2, Hearthstones, and Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor. 2014, wow. not the biggest
no,
year.
Really not a 2023 banner year. No,
16 would be, I guess, the year worse than that because that's Overwatch one. That's the only time a multiplayer game has won game of the year.
The game that does not exist anymore. So good for
them. They went against Doom, Inside, Titanfall 2. So 2016. Oof, that's a rough year.
Inside made the cut for that. Wow.
Inside made the cut with Titanfall 2 and Uncharted 4.
Huh.
Interesting. That's crazy.
There's a fourth Uncharted. I just learned this.
Thunder, I would be remiss if I did not ask this question because Ray is on here with me, and if I did not ask you what your favorite skin was in this game, Ray's firm no base skin stance applies. We have seen his Spider-Man shots. He stands true by this, and there were no shortage of skin options here.
Honestly, it probably had to be the Wolverine Miles Morales.
All right, that's a really good one.
But I really did.
Ones. You had some Wakandan costumes, Wolverine costumes.
I really did like the kind of retro ones that they put out with the DLC. Those were fun.
Like the 80s style type of stuff they
like
did.
The windbreaker suits. But yeah, I would say the Wolverine one's probably top. But honestly, I liked just the the Spider-Verse Miles ones, and just the classic Spider-Man suits were always kind of a go-to.
Now, before I ask my next question, I'm going to tell all the nerds to shut up, and I don't feel like dealing with you right now. But how'd you feel about the change for the MJ missions in this one?
I didn't mind. Again, I didn't complete the first one, but a lot of people complained about them. I didn't mind them at all.
Well, it was not stealth this time to the same. Like there was still stealth to it, but like she had a little more. She had a little more power. She had the weaponry that gave her a little. She was not a total damsel in distress, and I thought it made it smoother for me. That's why I was kind of curious.
And I mean, it made sense. Like without trying to spoil anything, obviously, what happens towards the middle of it.
She's very impactful in the halfway point of the game.
For sure. So I mean, it makes sense to give her that little arc.
Again, I'm trying to be respectful. Normally, I'd say, yeah, we could do spoiler, but since they announced the PC, I'm like, we'll let the PC people kind of have.
It's about to be very popular again.
Yeah, it's gonna get a resurgence. And Ray, I look forward to you playing it.
I'll get there.
You're gonna love it, dude. You're gonna love it.
Any other parting thoughts on Spidey?
No, I mean, if you haven't played it, pick it up. I don't know if it's gone on sale at all yet, but I can't say that it's not worth the $70 because I paid quite a penny to buy the console just for that. So
before we move on, apologies. God of War and Last of Us Part 2. Those would be PlayStation exclusives. They won Game of the Year as well.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, so three exclusives. Exclusives in the 9 years? 9,
yeah, it probably would have really made Nintendo mad if Nintendo's probably keeping track on a board somewhere.
Yeah, so 3 exclusives in 10 years, two PlayStations and 1 Nintendo. Now, if an Xbox wins an exclusive one day, do they have those anymore? Does Xbox still have exclusive games?
Listen, I was really dancing around some of the Mary Jane Spider-Man 2 stuff. You're just going to dive head first into causing the nerds to get angry.
Is Gears of War going to be exclusive? That could have a chance.
No, I think they already announced off the bat it's not. Yeah,
that hurts. That hurts. Anyway, we go to game 2. Game 2, Gris. So I have to start with this because I feel it's ridiculously prevalent. Did you know how to pronounce the game correctly when you first got it?
I didn't know how to pronounce this or the new one that just came out. I would say Gris just because of my Spanish background.
And that would be correct.
That's how I would have said it. But I mean, I wouldn't put it against anybody if they called it Gris.
Wait, what's the new one? Hold on. Wait. What's the new name then? Is it not Neva?
Yeah. But I didn't know if it was Neva or Neva.
Okay. I feel
okay.
Okay.
It's
I actually I played through that today. Great game as well. But I was kind of on the fence on how to pronounce it. And even in the game, like at the beginning, she pronounces it one way, but then throughout the game, she pronounces it differently.
Oh, she talks. There's
that's the one word she says.
Interesting.
It's just the name. It's kind of a feature. I don't want to give anything away, but
yeah, don't. Yeah,
that's
listen, Spider-Man came out a year ago, and I was trying to avoid spoilers. We're not doing one that came out a week ago.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. We don't have to talk about it. But Gris, yes, great game. Again, just the art style, the simplicity of the gameplay. There's not. I mean, going from Spider-Man 2 to this is the simplest form of gaming you could have. You know what I'm saying? Going back to retro Mario, it's very simplistic. And I kind of talked about it with Brian today in chat during the stream, but it's just they do so good at invoking so many emotions with no dialogue. Like, it's insane how even just the scenery can invoke so many emotions. That's an emotional game. Like, I'm an emotional person to begin with, so that game towards the end of it, I was in tears, to be honest.
And the game, for not having audio in the sense of speaking, the music it's not just instrumental. Sure. They're singing, they're singing in it to add that dimension to it. I'm upset at how long it took me to realize that the game was just called Gray. And the colors were almost lost on me at first. I just thought, oh, these are cool markers and let me know I'm in the next chapter, whatever. I think I got through 3 colors before kind of realizing what was
That it
going
clicked,
on.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we got you got 5 stages of depression in 5 colors.
Yeah.
Right. And so, was there anything, I guess, special? Did you feel like every color, the section felt like that level of
Yes.
depression, like going through the steps?
1,000%. It they knew what they were doing. They definitely they put some thought into, like I said, the music, the the vocals itself, and that the whole art style, including the colors and stuff. I feel like they did a really good job with that. And going back again, not giving any spoilers, but going back to Neva, that they did it's the same. Like they did the same thing. Every level has like its own color. They kind of split it up differently, but definitely there's more color involved. But there's one level, and I posted a screenshot of that level today. But there's a level that it's just basically completely red, and that was honestly one of my favorite ones. And you feel the color. It's crazy. They do a really good job of that.
Did you 100% this game?
Yes, I did.
Did you have to go back and do it again to do that, or did you?
Yes, but what I like about this game is that they allow you to do like go back into the individual chapters instead of having to replay the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I just went back. I went back into Steam and kind of looked at the achievements that I missed, and I just went back to each chapter. I did know about the
extra scene.
Yeah, the extra scene before, because normally on older games I'll kind of do the research and see like, especially ones that I'm going to stream, I'll see how long it's going to take. That way I can see if I need to split it up or if I can do it in one sitting. And that just popped up in the research. So
one thing I have to ask, because it was a moment for me. Did you get scared at the kind of there's a jump scare towards kind of the end of the game or near the end? I don't know if that moment sticks out to you, but man, it's stuck out. It's a the black bird that kind of goes around.
Oh yes,
from time to time.
Yes, 100%. Especially when you're not expecting it. I didn't watch any gameplay of it, so I didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah,
but that it honestly it kind of reminded me of the Ori scene. If you played it, you know what I'm talking about.
I almost threw my controller at the screen when I have headphones on. I know there's sounds. I've got this blasting in my ears,
and it's just a loud screeching noise. Like you don't expect it.
We're playing this whole real nice game, and it's just shows up on you.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts before we go on to the next game? As we bounce from different style to different style.
Yes. Once again, I'm probably going to say this about every game that's in my top 3. If you haven't played it, play it. It's great. If you have played it, I recommend picking up Neva. It's just as good. I still don't know if I can say that it's better, but it's just as good. Devolver knows what they're doing, and it's funny that I bring them up because they actually did the number 1 and the honorable, but we can get to that. But they did that game as well. So Devolver is they're a plus in my book right now.
A mystery untold, a journey through ancient caverns, inner turmoils that become outward strengths. These kinds of stories need a solemn yet comforting pack of music to bring the players closer to your characters as they set forth on a mysterious journey. My name is Adam Evault, otherwise known as Castu Garden, and I just put out my first music asset pack over on itch.io called Neoclassical Mystery. It is available for download for your next indie game dev project. I hope these tracks find you well, and it is time to unfold your mystery.
All right, game number 3. I get to jump on my soapbox here to start game number 3.
He's doing the bit again.
Listen, I'm going to say this every time because it's true. Hogwarts Legacy, 2023, 22 million copies sold. Outsells Call of Duty, the first game to outsell Call of Duty in something like 15 years. Receives 0 video game nominations, not 0 wins, 0 nominations for a load of garbage. We can put that out there right now. Ray said they got 0 nominations, the best selling game of the year for nonsense. Okay, Hogwarts Legacy. Now we're here.
Well, I'm going to start off with I agree with everything you just said.
There we go. Thank you.
I didn't even need to know the numbers, but I knew that they were robbed.
Biggest selling game of the year.
So robbed. Um, Again, similar play style to Spider-Man 2 and the Arkham series that we kind of just went through. But as a Harry Potter fan, as soon as this was announced, I knew I was picking it up. And again, there was only one. I only had one issue playing through this game, and there's a section where you have to free. I forget what the animals are, but they're in cages essentially.
Mm-hmm.
If you go in there and you free them before you get to a certain level, it glitches that actual quest.
That's
so
right.
You're not
Yes.
able to complete it. They ended up patching it. It almost took like a month after I got to that section, but you can't complete it, so it potentially ruins your 100%ing.
Right.
But besides that, gameplay was great. Again, similar style to the Spider-Man and the Arkham, where you're selecting and upgrading and doing all that stuff. But again, with spells, I'm sure at some point in everybody's childhood, they wanted to be a wizard or cast spells or pretended. And again, not growing up, but growing through the whole Harry Potter franchise, I read all the books, watched all the movies. I had high hopes for it, and they nailed it.
So let's start there, because you comparing it to Spider-Man. Well, what do you think of that combat system? Because I think that was one of the things that some people complain about. Just having to have the force spells, and you got to switch out. Sometimes they felt like that switching was a little tough to do. What do you think about it? Or did you have a way to set your spells so that you felt good about it?
I think on controller, if you had just a basic controller, I could see where that would be an issue. On PC, honestly, keyboard and mouse, you shouldn't have any issue.
Listen, anybody who's complaining, Harry Potter used one spell through the books, okay? So suck it up.
I liked it. I thought there was something. I played on controller. I thought there was something cool about arranging my sets.
Yeah, and
in the correct order, so I knew what I was switching to and what I was trying to do.
And even then, it makes you have to think and strategically. Okay, I'm going to fight this person that I've already died to.
Mm-hmm.
What spells are going to work better in this fight? And then so you go in there and you arrange them. And you use just those spells consistently. Once you get the oh my god, what are they called?
What was Thunder? While you're thinking of that, it was easy for Ray because he just had to put a Avada Kedavra on all 4 buttons, and he was.
That's what I'm saying. Once you get the curses, it's easy. It makes it so much easier. All you have to do is carry those 4.
And you upgrade. You start upgrading them so that your normal moves by default put on the curses too.
Yes. So but it's fun. Like I said, even the Quidditch stuff and being able to ride the animals and everything was great. The graphics were great. I don't think that I played it on maxed out graphics, but even at that, they were still very, very, very pleasing.
So let's go there. What was your favorite mode of flight?
The hippogriff. Yeah.
You didn't feel it was clunky?
No, I felt like it was pretty. I felt like it was pretty smooth. If anything, I felt like the broomstick was a little bit harder to control.
Really?
Especially at the beginning. Obviously, you get that.
Oh, learning it is kind of.
I didn't know Ray was palming a knife when he asked that question. I didn't realize it was.
Funny. But yeah,
when you were going to answer incorrectly and upset him. Jeez.
When you get the first broomstick, everything it's not upgraded, so it takes longer to turn. It's not as fast, all that stuff. But obviously, once you get to the maxed out ones, it does make it a little bit more enjoyable. But I wouldn't say that there was any mode that I didn't like. Mm-hmm. I felt like they were pretty similar as far as the animals versus the broomstick.
I wish they took that and used it for the Quidditch Legacy game. I played that one early.
I got invited into the playtesting, but I actually never got to do them.
I played one of the early ones, and I was just like, this doesn't make any sense to me.
Is the flight system different?
It didn't feel the same. The flight felt weird. I didn't know where anything was. It was, it's the realization that the fact that Quidditch is not a good game. like sports.
Like if it was a real
like,
sport, you would hate it.
listen, it's just sports. J.K. Rowling wrote a lot of great things. She was clearly not a sport aficionado. Like the game doesn't make any sense.
There's a reason there's not a lot of
putting that
new
one out
sports
there.
that pop up every year, though. Like you really got your core five.
Yeah,
That one is
for sure.
not. It doesn't work well. I think it's actually really weird to have the game of it.
And then, so it's like with the whole scoring system, and you're just playing a game of Quidditch. That's all it is.
Yeah, you're legitimately
Literally.
playing. I think they changed a little bit. I think the snitch doesn't end the game and give you 150 or whatever. They kind of they try to make something of it. But to me, it just felt very all over the place. Like no, it didn't feel that team chemistry that
I was gonna say
that Rocket League kind of gives you that I think they were hoping to pull off. I didn't feel it.
I was gonna say, do you think it would make a difference if you played with like regularly played with the same team?
Maybe, but I just thought the game itself felt like you're playing 3 different games.
Oh, okay.
Like if you're the seeker, like it's kind of like in the books. If you're the seeker, you're not paying attention to anything else
Of course
going
not.
on.
That's all. Yeah, all you're doing
You know?
is the snitch.
So it felt like 3 different games happening. Better, and I played it earlier, but I was off of it. But back to this one though, because this one they cared about the details in the game. Did you go around exploring the castle at all? I know what I found the kitchen, and I thought that was the most amazing thing to actually find a kitchen that all the elves were working in.
Yes, I 100%ed this one. I didn't get to go in. Actually, I didn't 100% it because in order to 100% it, you have to beat the game in all 4 houses, essentially. Because
there's extra quests. Well,
Yeah,
Hufflepuff gets their special.
And then I think Slytherin had their own.
Was there's the PlayStation quest?
Yes,
Slytherin?
I want to say that was that one.
They did. I think they added it though. I think everyone can do it now.
With that most recent, not the most recent, but that last update they had, they added it for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that they're planning on a DLC for that one.
I was going to ask, are you planning on getting it? They're calling it the Legacy Edition or something, but they'll let you just buy the add-on DLC.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be 10 to 15 hours of additional content.
Yes, so. It's supposed to be. It's like a decent amount of game to go play again.
Yeah, so I'll probably end up picking it up. I may have to jump back into the game for a little bit just to refresh my memory, but yeah, another great one. I mean, and I'm pretty sure I spent at least 1/3 of the year playing that game when it came out, and it was one of those games that started my trend of putting Fortnite on the back burner and diving into this.
Well, we'll finish with this. Did you take any time in the room of requirement? Did you decorate at all?
Yes, definitely. I did. I don't remember how I expanded it quite a bit, but I just did the main things that you needed: the tables to be able to upgrade stuff, and then to be able to keep all your animals.
My room is the ugliest room of all time.
I mean, there was no thought process as far as like matching and the actual decor itself. It was just like, okay, this is the first one, bring it up, pull it, that looks cool.
I just put a bunch of tables and would grow the healing potions in the giant circle, and that's it. And that's it. Just like a sweatshop in my wing. That's it.
I'm just gonna scree the soapbox over here real quick and just say for people who like are for the Switch, they took an extra year to put that together, and I got to listen. It doesn't look like the PS5 or like a souped up PC, but it's not Mortal Kombat 1. Like
I was about to ask that.
They had they did a really good job. They put the extra year into it, and I got it from my sister, and I've seen some other people playing it. It's a good translation. It's not it's not God's gift of visuals, but they did a good job. It's not buggy. It doesn't slow down. It's good.
Well, what they did, which was smart, is that they added loading screens when you move like from outside to Hogsmeade or like to the castle. So that's where they saved their space, as opposed to you just smoothly walk in. They say, all right, these are 3 different levels. Essentially, we'll put a loading screen in between them, and I think that was a big thing to allow it to work on the Switch well.
Yeah, so if you're Switch restricted and you're hearing all this, you're kind of checking out. Like, don't let that stop you. They did a good job. So carry on. All right, well, on to your honorable mentions, and you brought up Devolver already here, and your first game Angerfoot. Um, can you describe this game? Because I just wrote rhythm-driven kicking and shooting. I don't know if you've got a better way to describe this.
That's basically it. I've mentioned it before. I don't know that I mentioned it on the last time the podcast, the last time that I was on it, but I mentioned it before on the site that I've never really been a fan of first-person stuff. But this game is it's fun, but at the same time it's hilarious. Like it's just there's a level of crudeness to it that makes it. I've caught myself laughing countless times playing this game.
There's definitely teenage snickering that occurs for sure,
and it's pretty cool. So essentially, you start off barefoot, but you collect sneakers. There's a gang leader that's going up and stealing these sneakers that basically have special powers, and your job to go find them and retrieve them and stuff. But each sneaker has its own power. And then going back to the sneakers, I'm a shoe guy. I don't know how many shoes are getting more glares over here. So when I saw this game was coming out, I was like, I have to get this. It's a shoe game. Like regardless of how good it is, I'm gonna buy it. But it's good. It's a first person. You're just going around beating up bad guys. There's different levels of bad guys. And then so there's like 4 or 5 maps, I can't remember, and each map has checkpoints through it, and each checkpoint is its own level. They get harder as you go on until you get to the boss fight. There is 2 different endings you can choose. Obviously, if you choose one ending, you can go back and choose the other ending just to be able to see both of them. But it's fun. It's definitely a different pace from what I was used to. And again, I think for me, what made it more enjoyable was they have an FOV slider, which I'm sure a lot of games that are this way have nowadays. But the FOV slider helped out a lot. I couldn't do close up. I had to do the really wide angle. A lot of times the first person stuff, if it's a closer lens, it gives me motion sickness. But that did help out. They do have obviously other visual stuff that you can do to reduce motion sickness. And then just the soundtrack. It's just basically hard banging techno the entire time.
How did you end up in this game?
I don't remember. I honestly don't. I saw it pop up. I don't even remember where I saw a clip for it, but I remember seeing a clip and reading about it and it being about sneakers. And there wasn't really much on Steam as far as like gameplay clips. And even then they were all very similar, just somebody kicking. But it's great. I beat the game once, and then I went back and did the alternate scene. I was able to get all. I don't know that I technically 100%ed it, but I can pull that up real quick on Steam.
I don't encourage anyone to, while you're doing it, I don't encourage anyone to, Ray and I, we're continually peppering in game completion, game achievement actions onto Channel 3. Always an ongoing process. New games, we try to get them in there as soon as possible, usually within a week or so. Older games, it gets kind of mixed in. But you took the time to DM me and say, hey, I need a game achievement for this one. And you don't come calling favors in or anything. Why was this the one you wanted the game achievement for? Which one
was it?
For Angerfoot, you just like, hey, can we get a game completion?
Oh.
And like now we have it all, not to peddle the site in this conversation, but like now we can just pull the Steam achievements and like just click it. Ray and I hit 2 buttons and the Steam achievement becomes a quest quickly. But like this one, like I just named it after the Steam achievement, but like you called in a favor. It's like, hey, can we get a Steam achievement for this, or get a quest for completing this?
I feel like when you add something like that, especially to the site the way that it is, there are people that are going to want to pick it up just to get that tagline or just to get, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, get that XP, but usually we either do a no XP bump and a tagline or a nice XP bump for finishing something like that.
And it doesn't take very long to complete it, just to finish the story.
This game, the game that appeared much like a U2 album on an iPod or something like that, just like it was there one day and you don't even know what happened, like it's some kind of science experiment or something.
But it was so addicting. I honestly couldn't put it down. It's kind of in it. Honestly, I just started playing Ghost Runner, the first one, and it's very similar as far as like obviously like there's a parkour concept to it, but it's first person again. I didn't know how I was going to react to it. Wasn't too bad, but it's kind of you're just going. It's nonstop, and it gets very addicting very fast.
Let's go back to Game of the Year conversations here with the surprise winner a few years ago when It Takes Two snatched the crown away. So It Takes Two was playing with White Thunder your first playthrough for this one?
Yes.
So for anybody who's not familiar, this is a game that requires the title's not just like a catchy phrase. Like
No, really.
you need 2 players. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was my first. I don't remember if White Thunder said it was his first time playing through. I don't think it was just based off his reactions. He may have started it, but I don't know if he finished it. But it was the first playthrough for me. I genuinely enjoyed it. It's definitely got a good, obviously, partnership. Working through kind of a bad. I don't want to say a bad marriage, but just kind of that.
It's not a lighthearted, happy-go-lucky story.
Oh yeah, it's rough.
And right off the bat too, they kind of hit you. They hit you with the good stuff. I mean, just the opening scene alone, you're like, oh, okay, they're gonna go right into it. But it helps evolve the story. This is another game where I caught myself giggling like a middle school child. I did post. I think I posted the clip of it at one point. But there is some adult humor in it, which makes it, I don't want to say bearable, but it makes it a little bit more enjoyable if you understand those jokes. But just I think the co-opness of it is great. Me and White Thunder did Unravel 2, and then we also did No Way Out, or A Way Out, sorry. Yeah, A Way Out. And those games are fun, especially if you're playing with someone you genuinely enjoy playing video games with. I mean, before we started this Thunder Thursday thing, we played Party Night together quite a few times, and he's a really good dude. Like I genuinely enjoy the chatter that we have. He knows video games, so it's not like you're playing with somebody who has no idea what they're doing, which definitely makes the game more enjoyable. But just the game itself, it's great.
You're not going to have a bad time playing with White Thunder.
Yeah, and I can't say anything bad about this game. And I mean, there's not really anything bad to say about any of the games that are on this list. So, and it's just another one. If you haven't played it, I honestly don't know if my wife was into video games, if I would play this game with her. It's a little different. I feel like I get more frustrated playing video games with someone that I know personally, like that close of a relationship, versus someone that I know like White Thunder. Like obviously we know each other on a semi-personal level, but that playing with your wife is completely different. I'm sure you guys understand.
No comments. I have rights under the Fifth Amendment. Don't require me to answer that. My wife's not a gamer at all, so it's not even a thing. Like we play Rock Band. That's it. So we're good. But have you played it with the family, like kids or anything like that? That was just
no. That was the only time, the only playthrough. Yeah, I know that the kids would be too into that.
Did you know going in what the story, like that there was a story to it? Because I remembered you guys Unravel 2's like it's 2-dimensional. It's kind of not to say easier. I think it's a little simpler in the grand scheme of things.
It's easier.
There's some more. I'm trying to be delicate about. I'm not trying to be like mean towards it because I loved Unravel 2, just so we're clear. But did you know like
it's kind of a hard game?
I feel like
platforming stuff to it is you have to know what you're doing to a certain degree.
I feel like the difficulty was I would say they were similar. Obviously the 3D versus 2D does make it a little bit different because you're not just going side to side, up and down. So there is the 3D aspect to it that makes it a little bit more difficult. But I think we caught ourselves more in It Takes Two. Like, okay, what do we really got to do here? Like, what are we looking at? Which direction do we got to go? Unravel, I think if we died once, we figured it out right away, and either the level was just hard. There was a couple of those challenge levels in Unravel 2 that did give us a run for our money, but we actually have not finished It Takes Two. So I think we got about halfway done. He's back. I believe he's back today.
He's back. I say he's not back. He's back this week. I knew that.
So we might jump back into that either this week or next week. Get back on the Thunder Thursday, but we do need to finish it. We got to right after beating the toolbox. I think that's where we ended it. If not right after, then a couple levels after. But that was again, it was really enjoyable. We just need to get back into it and finish it.
All right, last game honorable mentions, Little Nightmares. This is I always I don't know how much I talk about it. I always think about it. There was this weird but good era of games like 2015 to 2017, 2018. All these indie games decided to come out. So you had the Ori, you had Cuphead, Celeste, Hollow Knight, Stardew Valley, Abzu. There's like this whole era of time where they're like, we're just gonna keep putting these little games out here and kind of different styles of games, and they all seem to be resurging now. Like they're putting them all back. Like a bunch of the Xbox Ones get thrown on the Switch because the graphics match up really nicely. You get them on PC, you can get them on sale. But Little Nightmares is about Six, the 9-year-old. Tell us about Six, the 9-year-old.
So this one, my son actually, I think we still have it, the physical copy of 1 and 2 for Xbox. If we do have them still, they're probably unplayable because they're probably all scratched to hell. But I remember him saying that it was pretty scary for, at the time he was 8, 9 maybe, and so he didn't finish playing it. But it was one of those Thunder Thursdays that White Thunder was out, and so I wanted to do something that had kind of a story to it that wasn't very long that I could do in one sitting. And it popped up on Steam, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll buy it. I actually bought 1 and 2 because there was a bundle for it. And then playing through this one, I really enjoyed it. So I went ahead and pre-ordered 3. I need to get through. I haven't even started 2, but I really enjoyed this one. It again, it's more of a 2D kind of platformer. There is a little bit of a 3D aspect to it, but not too much. And then I've always been kind of a spooky, scary game enjoyer of going back to the Silent Hill series, and it does a really good job. Again, the graphics, the monsters they give you enough creepy vibes. I could see why my son didn't want to finish it at that age. I mean, even as an adult, there was times where the jump scares got me, and there was times where I was just like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. There's this one where he's running through like the kitchen and the diner and all that stuff, and you're getting chased essentially, and that one definitely gets your heart rate going for sure.
I tell you, just reading the description, I don't want to finish this game either. This game is terrifying.
It really was. I wouldn't put it up there as far as like a horror genre, but it does give you the what is the word that I'm looking for?
Gets the heart pumping. That's
yes,
sure.
It has definitely some jump scares and stuff.
Very minimal, if any, combat. This is puzzle and stealth and hide, because everything can beat you, and you just kind of have to get around everything.
Yeah, but again, the graphics were great. I think for it being as old as it was, it still held up really well on PC. It being not requiring very beefy hardware, I was able to play that on max graphics as well, so that does help get through older games when you're able to do that. But yeah, I genuinely enjoyed it. Again, looking at the list that we've gone over so far, none of these games are anywhere near what Fortnite is. So it's just being able to take a step back and playing something completely different. I think that just helps. I
just say the funny thing for me is just your list here. Like, oh no, I know of you playing most of these games at this point. Because Little Nightmare, like I remember watching you. It was like a Thursday. You were just playing through it on Steam, and like even just kind of watching you was stressful. Just watching you play and trying to escape one of those monsters chasing you through the dining room, where like the obstacles are getting in your way. That thing's just going to continue to tear through, but you have to like navigate around in an escape level. But it's just funny seeing like, oh yeah, I remember him playing that with Thunder. I remember him doing that on a Thursday morning. I remember, it's just funny to see like, this has been a busy 2 years for you there.
Yeah, it really has been.
Well, now we look to the future for what games you are looking forward to. After this wonderful list of just diverse games and large games and small ones and co-ops, of course, the game you are looking forward to is the new Fortnite season.
Of course. I mean, you can't. that one's always going to be there. I mean, Shadow actually mentioned it the other day after the championship series. He was kind of just getting over this game, and I don't want to say that I'm getting over this game, but I feel like I have so many other games now that it takes away from it, and not in a bad way either. Like I still genuinely enjoy playing the game. I will say this season though, hitting Unreal did kind of put a damper on the game. Like I wasn't expecting it, to be honest. Like once I hit that, I was like, I found myself just, I don't really want to play now. Like it was one of my goals since Ranked came out, and I finally got to it, and it was just like, I would play a little bit with a couple friends that would want to play Reload Ranked. I think I got to Elite on both, but again, just the game itself. I think I just wanted to finish the battle pass, see how many levels I can get up to. Just doing the quests to get the cosmetics, and even at that point, anytime new quests would come out, I would just do bot lobbies, so I didn't have to worry about sweating and really fighting. I would just go and complete the quest. Like that's how kind of how big of a step I took back once I hit Unreal.
I felt the same way when I hit Champ. It was the second time I hit Champ, and I was like, oh, I'm exhausted. I am exhausted being here. I need to I gotta go somewhere else now.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're not grinding Ranked, like it's just in general. If you're buying a battle pass, you have to grind out the quest. Like it's like I said, it gets exhausting. So I feel for what Shadow said the other day, but again, just opening my eyes to all these other games, and I credit that all to the website. Like especially the honorable mentions. I don't think I would have played any of those games if it weren't for the website. Even Angerfoot. Like I think I've stumbled across Angerfoot because I ended up making a Steam account because of the website. You know what I'm saying? And so I ended up seeing it one day on Steam. So it wasn't even like I think I was up until probably about a year and a half ago. Everything I was playing was on Epic Games, so I didn't even have Steam. So seeing that on Steam kind of brought me into that. But yeah, I think again, you can't. New Fortnite season is always going to be fun, especially with the new ones coming up. The remix is kind of going back OG and remixing some of the skins from Chapter 2. It's going to pique a lot of people's interest. I know
they've done Fortnite's done a good job with this, with kind of the throwback smaller season to end a year out. It definitely feels fun and brings people who haven't played in a bit back into the game.
And I'm extremely excited for Snoop, getting Snoop in there. I think I'm more excited because there are rumors that they're going to bring back the emote that came out in Chapter 1, Chapter 2. I forget what it's called, but it's essentially the emote that he does in like the Drop It Like It's Hot video or something like that. So I forget what the name of the emote is, but apparently they're supposed to bring it back, and that hasn't been in the shop for over 1,000 days. But yeah, definitely excited for that.
And you got a couple here in your future games. The other one, so you'll play this. We'll play the new Fortnite for a month, and then we have to go play Marvel Rivals.
Yes,
that's December.
Yeah, the beta was great.
Good.
I played Overwatch a little bit. Again, crediting that to Channel 3 and White Thunder. But hero shooters never really piqued my interest. But I'm a huge Marvel fan. So once I found out that they were doing basically a Marvel version of Overwatch, I was in. And I feel like it was great. I mean, you played a couple of matches with us, and it's fun. You have to figure out what every character is good at, what their strengths are. Even again, it is one of those games where you are going to enjoy it more when you play with people
absolutely
regularly, people that you know, people that know what they're doing. And then the fact that it's third person. Again, third person is my preference, so that did help out, in my opinion. It helped me enjoy the game a little bit more. But and the fact that it's not just one overpowered character that everybody's playing, like you got options, and even the team abilities and all that stuff they're great.
Well, it's amazing because they said, hey, we'll do 6v6 again, and to the point that Overwatch has felt pressured, they're going to put a 6v6 back into their game.
Yeah,
which is what they moved on from.
Yeah, it's not surprising. I mean, just the feedback that I had seen from streamers, and I was on their Discord and reading stuff through the Discord. It's not surprising that they're doing that.
They put a lot of effort into the game.
And then the character list is endless. Like,
and very quick to say everything. Like you can use any character right away. Like we're not hiding anything behind any paywalls because we know you'll love the game and you'll just pay to have prettier skins.
Exactly.
That's the way to go. When you make a good game, people will pay to change the colors of their stuff.
Yeah.
And by people, it's me. I am.
You are people.
I am people. Don't make me unlock things. Just tell me.
Just from the beta, who was your favorite character?
I'm gonna forget. Dan, who's the alien girl in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Nebula or Gamora?
Oh no, not Gamora or Nebula. The one
Mantis?
who's dumb. Yes, her. Mantis.
Yeah, she was fun.
I love the support characters, and she kind of flies around, has a kind of a hit scan. It's a sniper, but it's not really a sniper. It's just one shot. Loved it though. I was all in on it. What are you going with?
Mine was Star-Lord. I really like Star-Lord.
He's fun.
I think it was his ultimate that sold me. Like just basically aimbotting.
Yep.
Wipe out a whole squad. It was definitely fun. Him and Storm were great.
And they're gonna add new characters. Captain America's gonna be in it to start.
I think Dan posted, or Channel 3 posted, the Moon Knight's supposed to be coming out.
Moon Knight's gonna be coming out.
I'm interested to see what they're gonna do. I did see the leaks for Captain America. That looked really good. There was a couple of them. I think Winter Soldier. Yeah,
I think it's funny. They're all very large.
Yes,
like that's the style they went with, and it somehow works. Like even Magneto kind of being like this old dude.
Huge.
He's humongous.
Huge.
He is humongous.
Who did you hate fighting against? Like if you saw this character, you're like, I'm running.
Scarlet Witch.
Spider-Man was mine. Dude, every time I went up against Spider-Man, like where am I getting hit from, bro? Like
flying. Spider-Man, Scarlet Witch's ultimate was ridiculous.
Yes.
People who knew how to use Venom really well would jump across the map and somehow jump back and you didn't hit them somehow.
Yeah, I just have to shout out the fact that they gave Yuri the job for Rivals. If they didn't do Yuri Lowenthal for Spider-Man for Rivals, the game should be protested.
Voice acting's great in it.
Did you see the clip of I'm pretty sure they nerfed it at one point, but the Doctor Strange portals where he basically was putting a portal at the entrance and the other portal off the side of the map?
Stage? Yep. That was just hilarious.
Like, why didn't you think of that as a developer? Like, come on.
Because you could put it anywhere.
Literally.
It took a while to realize what you're supposed to do with that thing. It's like, you can stand at the start, place them where you want, and then go play. Yeah.
But that one, so definitely looking forward to that one. Hopefully get some more people from Channel 3 playing. Maybe we can even get some. Maybe it'll be a championship series one day.
I hope that it's so hard with the hero shooters, just because of the need. You just need so many people to do it.
Yeah,
I'd love to. I think hero shooters are so fun. Especially with people like that's what makes them fun.
Yeah.
You have a third future game you're looking forward to, but I wanted to litigate this live. I guess I wasn't going to question this in the chat. You put Funko Fusion in there?
Didn't you play this already?
Game you've played on stream?
Because there's still a lot that I have to play. I'm looking forward to playing more of it in the future.
Dan, I'm looking forward to playing
back
Tears
to the
of the
2-star game. Is that what you're saying? Is that like what did you rate? I should have looked at what you rated it, but overall, I didn't feel like this game got a lot of strong reviews. Are you really going back in?
Yeah, it's great. And I don't even want to say that it's the fact that you can see the stuff back here. I'm a big Funko
points
guy.
to giant wall of Funko figures behind him for clarity for the audio medium.
You can post a screenshot of this if you want.
See the book discussion. It's prominently featured in the book discussion.
Get a screenshot of that, and you can put it as my hint.
There you go.
Done.
Okay. But yeah, it's great. The characters alone, they did a great job of picking out the characters. The levels are great. I don't think they're too hard. Like anybody could play this realistically. And then for the most part, all of the DLC skins have been free. There's only been one that has been for purchase, understandably, Bob Ross, which I did buy. But everything else, there was a Back to the Future pack that just dropped. I got that one for free. There's supposed to be another Jurassic Park bundle coming out for free.
Did you hit KFC for Colonel Sanders? That's the question.
There was a KFC one. I want to say that one was free.
I think you had to get some meals or get some club for them, or may have been like a bulked up version. There may have been like a mech Colonel Sanders or something like that too. I think there might have been 2 versions of them.
But there was also Team Fortress 2 bundle that was free, a Walking Dead bundle that was free. But even then, like the ones that they have that are actually in the game with levels that coincide with the characters it's been great. And like I said, there's some puzzle, some fighting. It's great. I think it's a good. I honestly don't see why they got bad reviews.
What pulled you away from it? I'm just trying to think, like what distracted you?
Arkham.
Oh, blame the book club. Okay.
Arkham pulled me away. What else was I playing? Let me see what I've been playing. Arkham, Ghost Runner, Fortnite. Obviously, just getting through some of that.
Getting to level 300 or whatever you were for
that, and then just life. I have 2 deals actually that I'm gonna free up a little bit of time, but I have a deal closing tomorrow and then a deal closing on Friday. But just that, having 2 back-to-back deals,
just in time for the Fortnite season.
And then Silent Hill also. I played a little bit of Silent Hill when it came out. I think that's pretty much it that I've been playing.
All right, fair enough. Well, we're now going to move to the quest portion of the podcast. We're going to take a question from the Channel 3 history books to pick for you to discuss. I'm just going to go with today's quest, where yesterday, when we recorded this, yesterday was the anniversary of Fallout 3's release. And for those who have not played the Fallout games or watched the Fallout series, it's not a well-hidden fact after a quarter century or 27 years, whatever it is now for Fallout games. The Vault Tech company behind the vaults in the game where people spent the apocalypse, they were more than prone to, let's do a little social psychological experiment in a vault here. And the concerns of the Channel 3 community at large are certainly going to be there. We've had several scientists reach out to us from Switzerland and various European countries asking to study the results of today's quest, but we're going to ask you just that today. What experiment would you conduct in a vault? Yeah, this is my fault. I know.
You struck a nerve today.
So when I saw this quest today, I didn't really know how to answer it because I wasn't sure if you were asking like just in our own minds what experiments would we conduct, or
I left it up to interpretation.
because I've honestly have only played probably about an hour worth of any of the Fallout games.
That's okay. I gave you the gist of it.
I did get through the entire series though. The TV series.
You saw a taste of it, yeah.
I wouldn't. This is weird. Just based off the knowledge of the lore, I could see myself being a ghoul.
I was just gonna lightly irradiate you for for a couple hundred years.
Yeah, so for some immortality.
Fair enough. That one's in Fallout 3. Fear not. That is a vault in Fallout 3. They did that, so good enough.
And the last question: 2 years later, what's your favorite feature on Channel 3?
The GIFs.
You heard that, Dan?
Just in case.
Dan, were you listening? Great feature.
I'm sorry, I was disconnecting my internet. I lost all that. What?
The GIFs are wonderful. A lot of great reactions out there.
I love it because you can have multiple reactions from different people. You can have super specific reactions that nobody's ever going to use, but it's cool to collect. Like, it's one of those, again, going back to being a small collector myself, like, it's cool to get those.
Your Inception gift, for instance, comes in a lot more useful than you would think it does.
Yeah, I don't. Is it out yet? It was released, right?
Yeah, I have it.
It's been out
Okay, I
there.
couldn't remember if it was released or not.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you create them, you get them as soon as they're loaded up. So you don't
yeah, that's why
pay
I
attention to
don't
the
really.
release.
Yeah, and so when
It's been useful.
yeah,
What are your top 3 as of now? Then?
Oh, like of the ones that I own, or the ones that I've been in, or just
No, not the one. I mean, listen. One of the ones you've been in makes the cut. Then go for it. But what are the 3 you go to?
I mean, my Yes, Let's Go. That one, I use it.
The Let's Go Mario variant is also just top notch. For that was a Mario Day 2022 or something like that. I think just dropped for everybody who was on that.
I'm gonna go in here and look at the gist real quick because I don't remember which ones I have.
They do put them in order when you make a post.
Okay, if just to save face for you, Dan, I'll start calling them. I'll refer them to reactions.
Just so I get the headache that I have right here from you two will go away. Okay, good.
But yes, my Yes, Let's Go. I like the Joel Shrug. That's a good one. I don't use it very often, but I do like that one. One that I do like a lot just for the production of it is the Crown Flex one. Just the production of that one is. I know it's from the video Joel did with what's his name on the upgrade my desk.
With Michael when he did the upgrade.
I don't know how I forgot his name, but yes.
Hard one for you to remember that name. Yeah.
Right. Let's see which other one. What other one do I really like? I like White Thunder's WTF.
Good one.
That one's one that I'll just say will never be in the ticket counter. You people can all figure out what I mean by that.
Yeah, I would say those are my top ones.
I'm going to ask one more. I'm hijacking this from Ray. What do we need?
I don't know.
Because you've provided a few yourself. But what do we need?
We need ridiculously specific ones. You know, I start making lists every time I want to react and I want to say something very specific. Every time I have to use one in a more general sense, I think I need something just specific to this. Because one day somebody else will need it too.
Yeah, but you can make the list for us at any given time. You just
somewhere.
Don't you hijack this?
I have the list. I just forget to do it. I got to pay more attention to write them down.
But yeah, it just the reactions make everything so much easier. Like there's times where I don't want to type anything. Let me go in there and click, even though it takes just as much, if not more, time. Especially if you don't have every single shortcut memorized.
I do not.
I don't even have mine memorized.
There are probably 6 or 7 of them floating out there, by the way, for people that are just available if you happen to trigger the right words in a comment or a post. Not in the chat. They don't work in the chat for triggering, but there are.
I see there is one of mine that hasn't been released. I don't know if it's going to be released or not, but you kind of just mentioned it.
Is in that
because it says one owner, 4 uses. So I'm assuming that's me.
Yeah, you'd be the one owner, but that one may not have been in the shop yet. I gotta take a look here. Which one is it?
In the chat.
Oh, in the chat. Pull up in the chat. You don't want to. He's
being no.
I don't know if it is, but you could just look at it on your profile.
Cryptic.
Yeah.
No, which one is on this?
I didn't actually put it in the chat.
I don't know which one it is that I don't have.
It's kind of my hint. Well, maybe I'll put it in chat so you guys can see.
Oh, that one. Nobody has the one yet. I found it.
I have to see because I just kind of worked through a list of them.
Just go to his profile page. It's right there.
I put it in our chat.
Oh no, that one has not been. That one has not been.
I didn't know if that was. That
one's new for this season. That is a new one that was part of the season 10 batch. That will be.
But is that going to be a trigger one or is that going to be a release?
What do you want to do? You want to do it a trigger?
Maybe trigger for like the first month and see if anybody triggers it, and then if not, and throw it in the chat.
It's going to be a trigger. There's a new Thunder trigger. There will be a new Thunder trigger by the time this releases. Yeah,
there we go.
But it will require the exclamation point to trigger it, because otherwise, if I just put
you just put it.
If I just put what it is, Everyone on the site will have it within about 20 minutes.
Can you set multiple triggers for?
I do. I usually set multiple triggers. I usually set with spaces, without spaces. I usually set multiple triggers for them. Yes.
Okay, cool.
For any given one. Like if you type out fully what Thunder says, it will trigger. If you type out the letters,
the shorthand,
it will trigger. If you space letters, it will trigger. They're all in there.
See, and that's what makes this feature so great. Like, who doesn't like a surprise reward? And you're like, how did I get this?
I love when people don't even realize that they happened.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what did I do? How did I get the boy tagline? What happened here? I'm not telling you.
Some random person today got, I don't know if they noticed it or not yet. Some random turbo user got 1,000 XP today. Just cause. Just watch out. If you're a troll member, you might just get 1,000 XP. It pops up. Just put it out there.
Oh yeah, I haven't gotten that.
That's because that's a new feature that began today.
Okay.
Because I thought of it and someone got it.
Not that you asked, but my second next favorite feature would be the XP coins. I think that's the fun little addition. Again, who doesn't like surprises?
Everyone's finding more of these coins than I am at this point. I feel like they've stopped showing up for me. I don't know why. All right. Well, with that, we've made it to the end of another What Are Your Three podcasts, Thunder 2.0. Thanks for being with us. You can find the podcast every Wednesday morning at 3:13. Oh, God. That was terrible. Let's try that again.
You make me feel better for the one I had to do without you again.
Start it over.
Oh, I didn't listen to the end yet. Did you? Did you make it through? Let's try that again.
I landed the plane, unlike you today.
That was terrible. And with that, we've made it to the end of another What Are Your Three? Thanks, Thunder, for being with us. You can find the podcast at c3.gg/podcast, dropping every Wednesday morning at 3:33 a.m. Eastern on all the major platforms, including Spotify, YouTube Music, and Apple Podcasts. I'm Ray. Dan puts this all together. Our theme song is by Caster Garden. And for our executive producer, Joel Willis, have a good day, everybody.
Please consider using code thunderpump.
God, that was good.
There it is.
Had to do it.
The Yankees are winning right now, 11-something.
No, what? They're not.
Yes, they are. They hit a bunch of home runs. They finally learned to hit the ball again. Aaron Judge figured out how to get on base. So,
oh wow, 11-4. You're right.
Looks like we won't have a sweep.
They just wanted to win in LA.
Just
you know how it works.
win a game.
You know how the script goes.
We got one more. Yankee. You got one more Yankee, right? Oh no, they switched it. They made it. They put it back to 2-2, 1-1.
Yeah.
Channel 3 is the future.